Hello everyone, my name is Jeffrey. Welcome back for episode 35 of the Satisfactory series here on YouTube. In this video we're putting together a somewhat simple supercomputer factory. It also puts out high-speed connectors as a bonus. Multiple floors, a handful of refineries, and plenty of belt work. This one came together quite nicely. Thank you for all the support and help with the series so far. Let's get to playing games. It's another day in Satisfactory. It's time to go back to, well, kind of basics. Crazily enough, we're actually going to be making some supercomputers today, as well as some high-speed connectors, both of which we're going to need for some crafting in the next tier, phase 4 that I think we're moving into. So we are going to build, and I actually ended up changing my mind from last time. I believe in the last episode I mentioned I was going to build it up over here. I actually played with the recipes a little bit, and I'm actually going to end up building it over here near the blue crater because I was able to get it down to only needing 300 oil, and by using the pure Caterium ingot, like the one we need the refineries for, I only needed a normal node for Caterium. So we needed a normal Caterium node, a normal copper node, and a normal oil node. All of which I just so happen to have extra sitting right over here. I did go ahead and build a platform already, so we'll go over there and I'll go over that with you guys. But thank you guys for coming back here once again. Let me go over the build list really quick. You're going to need one awesome sink. The awesome sink's going to be temporary. Eventually the heavy oil residue that we're going to be turning into petroleum coke to be sunk. Eventually I'm going to turn that into fuel, and I'm going to send it over to the rest of my fuel plant because, I mean, why not? Then you'll need 31 constructors, 6 assemblers, 5 manufacturers. I'm theoretically going to use 25 refineries. I may overclock the ones that are doing the pure Caterium ingots, and I'll only use 6 instead of 12. So that would be 19 total refineries. So it's either 19 or 25. And then 9 smelters, 3 water extractors, 2 miner Mark IIs, and 1 oil extractor. So I'll grab everything before we end up heading over to the build site, but I just wanted to show you guys one more thing in order to start working our way towards completing phase 3, because especially with 1.0 just around the corner, I'm not like speed running the game now by any means, but I'm definitely moving a little bit quicker than I was originally intending. Just since we're going to be starting over fresh with the 1.0 anyway. I would just like to, I know I'm not going to finish the game by any means. I'd like to get as deep as I can. That's what she said. Wait, no, it's not. So I did just throw together, similar to how I did phase 2. I just built some temporary machines here that are going to handle this. Since we need the 500 modular engines, I did 2 set to 2.5 per minute because that's the max you can make. So I got 2 of those doing modular engines, and then I have 1 set to do, get over here. I have 1 set to do the adaptive control unit, and that's because you only need 100, and I can make 2.5 per minute. So this will actually be done probably pretty fast. And then the versatile frameworks we have had done for a very long time. So anyway, I am just going to go ahead and fire these machines on now so that these will actually start producing their items. There we go. What's happening? Why are you yellow? Oh, it's just feeding ever so slowly. But all the belts are right because nothing's higher than 60 per minute. So 5 per minute, 5 per minute, 37.5 per minute. Easy. So we should have some modular engines. I want to see the first one coming out here. Here it is, modular engine. So that should start making our way towards completing phase 3. And over here we should have adaptive control units coming out. 3, 2, 1. Hey, nice countdown. Not bad. Okay, so those machines are going to start working on our phase 3 part, well, the last 2 that we're going to need. And then to take you guys on over. It's actually really close. It's actually, I feel so much closer than all the other things. We're actually just going to be going up this road here, and you can kind of actually see it partway. If you kind of zoom in through there, you can actually see my platform I started to build. So it's just up these ramps here. Okay, I'm over here at what's going to be the build site. Here's the blue crater with my giant fuel factory. Here's the main base right on the other side of those rocks. It's actually a really nice spot. So the Caterium node is right here, where I put the miner Mark II, and then the copper node is down there, where I put the other miner. And then I'll fly on over to where the oil is, just so I can show you the specific one I tapped into. And I'll kind of show you where I'm going to send like my pipelines and stuff down. So the build here is, I just kind of came down from the road here, and then off of the road was 16 wide going down this way, and then 16 along the back. So this section is really just like a 16 by 16 block with a big section cut out for the road here. Looks like it's a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 wide cutout along here. And then this box over here is a 19. No, it's not. It's 17. It was 19 because I had it there. It will be 19, I think, at some point, because I think I'm going to add in a little bit extra for sending things between floors over here. But technically, this is right now a 17 by 16. And then it's split down between multiple floors. This is my usual foundations and subfloor. And then, so this is going to be the floor for all the constructors. The only reason I give it so much extra headroom in this one is because down here is the space for all the refineries. So just if I do end up deciding to make this cosmetics or give this any cosmetics, I wanted to set it up kind of cool. Or if anyone else wanted to try doing cosmetics on this as well. So this is a 1, 2, 3 stack. They got a 12 meter high, and then there's a 1 meters in the middle, and then 3 on top again. And then just the 2 meter floor was snapped to there. Give me a subfloor of there. Hopefully this makes sense if you need to follow along. This base one is 20 by 24. So 24 down this way and 20 in that way. Yeah, this is going to be where the refineries are, and then it just has a subfloor for moving all the stuff around. So if you're coming down this way, this is where the liquids are going to come from, because we're going to need water and oil for this build. So this platform is just going to be a like fluid buffer area where the pipelines are going to run through. So the oil is going to come through that one, water will come through that one, and then they'll get sent up here. I don't know if these are not really necessary, but I'm starting to enjoy having the buffer in the fluid lines, just, you know, for if anything weird happens, and weird things do often happen with fluids. So I've got 3 water extractors down here. All of them are downclocked to 75%, 90 each, giving you a total of 270. We have 270 water and 300 oil. The 300 oil is coming from all the way back here. I was hoping I could bring it from this node, but this is the impure node. This is only 150. This is eventually going to get added into the fuel factory, I think. Oh, there's something I'm supposed to pick up here. So I actually ended up bringing the normal oil node, which is back here, next to the pure one. So this is now running at, or this is supposed to be overclocked to do 300 per minute at its maximum. So it'll pump the oil all the way down here, go down this line, and then up into the factory. Which actually looks really cool from down here already. So those are the liquids. We're just gonna have to run them. They're all Mark 1 pipes, so it's nice and easy. This is 270 water. This is 300 oil. Everything fits nicely in the Mark 1 pipes. I had initially planned this out a little bit differently with different recipes, and it was going to be way higher numbers, but this is actually nice and easy. You can actually get it down to a little bit less oil if you were to use, I believe it's either the residual or recycled plastic or recycled rubber. Those recipes will have you use just a little bit less oil, but I figured, hey, 300 oil even is nicely fitting in the Mark 1 pipe. And what am I really going to do with 30 oil, right? So we're just going to run these pipes, on over up here, up along this part here, along here, put them into the fluid buffers, and then up into the factory there. Now, obviously, this is going to require a good handful of pumps. I believe we're going to need a pump here, and then a pump here, which may save us needing to, we'll figure out if we need a pump here or not, and then we'll need a pump here as well. Now, there may or may not be better spots to build this layout, since you only need a normal oil node, a normal caterium, and a normal copper. But since this was fairly localized to everything already, I figured this would be a nice easy one. It's kind of close by. I mean, it's actually very close by to storage. It'll be a very quick little tractor line just going between here and there. But it also keeps me localized to everything else in case I need to do any like major troubleshooting or anything. Eventually we're going to end up on the other side of the map. So I'm just hoping that everything, when we leave here, hopefully everything just runs nice and smooth for us. I think to start off the build, I know it says like refineries and smelters first, but I think to start it off, I'm actually just going to get these two pipes all the way over to the actual factory first, just so all my actual raw materials and everything are nice and close to the base, and I'll be ready to go. I think it'll help me plan things out a little bit better. All right, the sun is just coming up. I took the time over the night to just hook up all the pipes. So as you can see, I ran them all the way from down there, coming up all the way through here into our little liquid storage area. And then they got piped up all the way into the bottom of the factory here. They actually had to go up so high on the wall that I actually had to use another like support piece coming up the wall. I've never had to do that before. So we're probably going to have to use a good handful, like I said, good handful of pumps on this one. Also, the other one thing I did, I was just marking out where I think the refineries need to go. I am going to use all 25 just because I think it kind of fits nicely that way. So, but I did have to add on another little bit extra here at the back. So now this, instead of being 20, is 24. So now it's a 24 by 24 platform. I've also made one more little change out off the front side as well. So I added on this little extra concrete section here. So this platform is going to be for I had it as 9 smelters. I'm just going to do it as like, I'm going to overclock them and just do 8. And then I'll do the 2 groups of 4. And then I'll turn this miner. This is the copper miner. I'll turn this one so it feeds up this way, and then they'll just smelt everything right here, and it'll just get fed right into the bottom floor here. Since I used all of my space over here got taken up by the smelter or the refineries. So, but we can go ahead and start placing the refineries now that it's actually daytime. Oops, these went away when I was doing my planning. So 25 refineries. We're gonna go. I want the inputs on the back here, and they normally should be sitting right. Oh wait, is that input or output? That's input. Okay, orange is input. I'm gonna go in 1, just because that's the way I like to do like my my lift feeds, and then we're gonna go over 1 as well, so that it just sits in the almost not in the middle, but just offset on this platform a little bit. Actually, I could probably even do this, and then it just sits right in the middle. Let's do that. We're gonna go 1, 2, 3. Oops. Not leaving any space in between them. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. And this should land right in the middle. It does. 14. Well, it's got a little bit extra space on this end, but that's okay. You'd have to shift them over like the tiniest little bit to offset that, and it wouldn't be nice. So we're gonna go ahead and do the next, what was that, 15? We have the remaining 10 along here. So we're gonna do the same thing we did over there. We're gonna go in to the middle ish. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Why does that not line up? Did I do that not correctly? I may have done that not correctly. Okay, sorry. One last little quick change I had to make. So I ended up splitting them. So we got the 12, we have 12 refineries coming down this side now. So I ended up adding just a tiny little bit on the back section there. So these 12 are all doing the pure caterium. Then these 10, I realized I had this set up incorrectly. These 10 are doing plastic and rubber. And then the final 3 are set off to the side because these are also only, well, technically temporary. These are going to be set to do the petroleum coke from the heavy oil residue output that I'm going to have. And these are just going to get put into a sink. So now that is the refineries set up correctly. So we got the 10 here. It's, I think, 2. I'll have to go back and check. It's split between, I think it's like 2 rubber and the rest are plastic, or it's the other way around. 2 rubber, 8 plastic, like either way. And then these are all set to do petroleum coke. And then these are all set to do pure caterium ingots. So now I can just go on over to this side and we can put in the 8 smelters, and then that'll be all that completed. We got 8 smelters instead of 9. I know it says 9, but it's going to get a nice spot to put these into. Let's leave enough space all around. Let's go 1, 2, 3, and 4. I'll do the same on this side. 2, 3, and 4. And we'll just quickly throw in our splitter line here, since we're already here anyway. It's going to get fed from the back. Everyone gets Mark 1 conveyor belts. Super easy. I believe this line is 240, so it'll be a Mark 3 conveyor belt. Mark 3 is up to 270. Then that Mark 3 conveyor belt is going to get fed from back here. And just for the sake of it, while we're here, we'll do all our mergers. So everybody gets a merger going through here. Sending them all down that way. Mark 1 conveyor belts coming out. If you want to do this as all max level belts, you can do that too. You'll just need to carry a lot more encased industrial beams around. So we set all these to copper. Let's check my exact number that I need here. The exact number of copper ore is 247. How about that? I'm not going to worry about turning this. It'd be too tight of a spot there. I think it's 3 power shards. Yes, just barely. Now, merging these together, there's actually 2 ways I could go about doing this. So it's going to output, obviously, that same 247, but it actually needs to be split into 2 lines. One is 152 and one is 95. So I could do this where I combine them together and just make it into a manifold line where it splits off to feed those 2. It's 2 different sets of constructors. One's for sheets and one's for wire. Or you can set one side, like it's going to be a little weird, but one set of 4 will just output 95. So you just downclock these ones. And then the other set of 4, you can make 152. And then it'll be a nice even split. I think I'll go with the manifold line just to save on power shards. Well, maybe. Well, let's see what it would have to be 152. What's 152 divided by 4? 38. So they'd all only need 1 power shard, right? Yeah. Okay, never mind. Let's do that. Let's do 38. And then we'll put in a thing there. Power shard there. And power shard there. That's not that bad. So it's going to be a Mark II conveyor belt here. It'll be 38 and 38. Plus another 38 would be 90, 106. Don't judge me. 114. So there we go. Mark II conveyor belt until the very end, which just becomes Mark III. And then this would be 95 divided by 4. 23.75. What happened? Where'd my cursor go? There we go. Oops. 23.75. Copy settings. There we go. And this would be a line of 95. Perfect. So that'll be a nice little even, like that'll be sort of a nice bit because we got a manifold line to feed this, but then it'll be a nice evenly balanced line leaving. Okay, that is refineries and smelters all finished. Oops. So I do that sometimes. Refineries and smelters, you are completed. I even have part of you finished. Okay, so now we can move on to the constructors. And the constructors are going to be separated out into groups. So we have three sets of constructors are all going to be doing like copper related things. So I'm thinking we can maybe have that. I know it's like counterintuitive to have it close to the Caterium part, but the Caterium part, I only need 12 constructors, and I'm pretty sure that can all just go right here. Like very easily could fit right here. We could do 2 groups of 6. I think that's what I'll do. So we'll grab our constructors, figure out a nice spot to start this out. Let's do the backside first. That'll help. There you go. That seems like a good spot. Sorry, I did some little trying to move things around and figure it out. So we got 3 in from here, 2 in from the backside, 3 in from this side, and 3 from this side. Give me the option to potentially cut this little part out if I really want to. Yeah, I kind of got it like right in the middle, which is perfect. So we can have a splitter line coming down the middle for our manifold line of all the Caterium ingots, with Mark I belts feeding each machine, if it'll be nice to me. Now this is definitely, these are building, or this factory is going to output 2 items I've never even seen in the game before, so this is going to be a really cool experience. So coming down the line here is 135 point something, so it's Mark III. It's like 135.2. Gotta love those decimal points of building things. Okay, there we go. Got a little floor hole that's going to feed up, and that's going to feed the manifold line, and then I put the merger. Oh, merger is actually in the wrong spot. That's why I didn't line up properly. The merger will be at the back here, with a lift connected to it. I don't think that actually connected. It looks like it's just like right there. And this actually got put on incorrectly. There we go. That's why it didn't snap in. So that's going to merge these 2 lines of Caterium or quick wire together, and then when it goes back downstairs, it's going to get split off into 3 separate lines. So now for our constructor, or now for our copper constructors, we have 8 doing copper sheets, we have 7 doing copper wire, and we have 4 doing cable. So that is a total of 19. Perfect. I think, right? Did I math my math there? So let's do the let's do the group of 8, because I think we'll be able to fit that along here. We'll go 2 in on everybody. Actually, maybe we go 3 in on everybody. We might have extra space in here. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. It leaves me 2 on that side, but that's okay. I actually may have left myself more of a gap there than I needed to. I'm just going to do 7 and overclock it because I think it's like 7.6 constructors. So I need like an extra 0.6. I'll just split that extra between these guys. That way it's just an exact even line. 3 on this side, 3 on that side, right in the middle of the floor. So now we can move into the other 7 that we need for wire. That's actually perfect. So we'll go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Oops. 7. A 3 gap in between. I think that's enough, right? Yeah. Okay, I actually just had to snug them up one more because I was like, all right, I got to add 4 more constructors in the back. So we got a line of 7 here. That's going to be our copper sheet. So we need to do some overclocking. This is going to be all for wire. This is going to have to be some underclocking. And then these are going to be for cables. Also going to be some underclocking. So I'm quickly going to set up my splitter and merger lines on the fronts and backs of these so that we can move on from there. And it's just going to be pretty simple. All the numbers are pretty small. But I think I'm going to feed... What's this? This is copper, right? So I'm going to want to feed the copper probably from this side. And then it's going to get sent up. So we're going to go copper feeding from the right. And then we'll output it on this side. So all our splitters, I want the inputs coming from the right hand side. If I'm standing behind them, I want them all coming from the right. Wait for the autosave to crash my game. I know like everyone always talks about how long the autosave takes, but like I'm wondering if like, is there a way that it gets any faster? Like does a better PC make it any better? Or I know the further you get in the game, the worse it gets, but okay. And in terms of manifold number lines for the cable constructors back here, we're going to be taking in 190 wire. So that's going to be a Mark III conveyor belt feeding yourself all the way along. Actually, I might turn because these are going to be out. I'm going to turn these actually. Oops. And the reason I'm going to turn those is because the output of the actual like wire that I'm going to use is going to come from over here. So I might as well just send it down. I mean, I could technically even just send it around instead of sending it down, but we'll see. The general idea is that it's now going to come from the other side. Oops. And then Mark III conveyor belt going all the way down. Then for this group of 7, this is our wire, right? So copper ingots, we're going to be taking 95. So that's going to be a Mark II conveyor belt. And the other one is 152. So that is a Mark III conveyor belt. Like I've said before, if you want to use just all max level belts, totally can. You don't have to worry about like figuring out all the timing for each of these. It'll definitely speed things up for you. You'll just have to carry around a lot more encased industrial beams. Okay, so output this way. I'm using the inner squares to kind of line things up for me. I've actually left myself just enough gap to not only put in power lines, but I can also walk through here if I need to. So same thing for here, merger, it's all going to go back towards that way. So also for setting up the clock speed on the wire constructors here, it is 27.14 per minute, which should give me the total of 190 per minute. Which means I can go mark 1. That'll be, let's just say I didn't downclock them and just make things easier for me. So we'll go 30, 60. That'd be 90 coming out of this one. Be 120 coming out of this one. Be 150 coming out of this one. 180 coming out of this one. And a total of 190 on a Mark III conveyor belt. Actually, I guess that doesn't really, I don't really need that there yet. And the copper sheets, I need a total of 61 plus 15, 76. I need a total of 76 copper sheets per minute. 76 divided by 7. And thanks to you guys giving me tips in the comment section, which by the way, please keep them coming. They've been helping me out a buttload and saving me time trying to figure out how to do some of these things. So this is copper sheets, right? So instead of figuring out how to type in that number, we're going to go to here. We're going to go 15 plus 61 was 76. 76 divided by 7. Type that number in there. Oops. Oh, right. That's because I haven't, there we go. 76 divided by 7. There we go. I forgot I had to put the power shards in. So everybody can have a power shard, or you can just overclock one if you want. But I like keeping things even when I can. So we 10.86 per minute from each machine. Okay, that is all of our copper ones set up. So we got the 27.14 each machine for copper wire. 10.86 each machine for the copper sheets. All of them need a power shard, or again, you can just overclock one of them. And then the 4 back here are for wire, or sorry, doing cables. Total of 95 per minute. $95 divided by 4 is 23.75. So we'll have every one of these do 23.75. And that is all the copper things set up. And I'm just going to do the merger. This is my Kateria. This is my quick wire. So y'all need some mergers, don't you? So where's this going to go? This is all going to go back the opposite way again. So we're going to go 1, 2. Everything's going to be going that way. Get all our mergers set up there. Same with over here. I space these out a little bit better over here. So like I said, we're going to split these into a very odd specific split. Where the one side puts out wait, no. This is the Caterium. Okay, yeah, never mind. The Caterium is going to get split. This is what I was thinking of, that we're splitting evenly. Sorry, the Caterium is actually just going to get merged all into one. So I think I sent those all the wrong way. Oopsie. I am sending it down here. Okay. I got myself a little confused there. Okay, sorry, I was just doing some quick math and I realized this cannot all fit onto one merger belt. It actually has to stay split into 2 because we're going to be moving a total of 676 quick wire, which obviously does not fit on a Mark IV belt. If you're building this with Mark V belts, then you can do it no problem. But in our scenario, Nope, it's going to be split into the two. So we're going to figure out what 676 divided by 2 is. So I got two even lines. 676 divided by 2 is 338. So we're going to go 338 divided by 6. And I'm going to type that in because I don't want to type that one in. So we go 338 divided by 6. Here we go. So we copy the settings from there. Paste them onto everybody. Making sure we have an exact split down both sides. Which means you can have a Mark 1 conveyor belt here. Mark 2. That would be Mark 3. Still a Mark 3. Right? Because let's just say it's a not underclocked. So we go 60, 120, 180, 240. Onto Mark 4. Alright, that is officially all of our constructors done. I'm just going to wait until daytime and then we'll throw down the assemblers and manufacturers. It's literally just the 6 assemblers and 5 manufacturers. I guess I need to put the sink down here somewhere. I need more concrete. I have some here, don't I? No, I don't. Okay, I'll go grab some concrete during the night so we can put up the rest of the things. And then, I mean, we're coming up pretty close to putting the finishing touches on here, connecting the last of the machines, and then we'll be doing the power. I'll figure out where I'm going to have the truck station really quick. I think I have stuff for that. Modular frames. Okay, we're at modular frames too. All right, be right back. All right, it's daytime. We're back here. I brought everything. We got the awesome sink put in. I just calculated the refineries for the petroleum coke. You want to downclock them to 98.3333% or 118 per minute. So it takes in exactly 118 cubic meters of heavy oil residue per minute. Just 39.333 divided by 3. It took me a little bit of math skills to figure that one out, but so that's on those that part's all ready to go. We also put in our truck station right here. My idea is that the truck will kind of come in through here, do a little loop, pick up the stuff, do a little U-turn, and go back out this way. I think that should work nice and smoothly. So that should be those ready to go. I just wanted to do the hard math stuff first, and now we can come up to the upper floor here, where we can put in our 5 manufacturers and our 6 assemblers. So I think the 6 assemblers can probably go over here. And then the 5 man, I'm getting a little bit of lag here. I don't even have the graphics turned up. But the manufacturers, all 5 of them, can go over here, I think. I don't know why it's so laggy. But we're going to go right there. There's 2 in all the way around. So we got 1. Do the same thing over here. 2. The 3rd one in the middle. That's a 3. So those 3 are for the high-speed connectors. I just had to check my my build there. And then we have 1 for supercomputers and 1 for Caterium computers. So we go one and 2. I'll line up with both of these, hopefully. There we go. So there's our 5 manufacturers. And then over here, we just need our 6 assemblers, which I think I can probably split. I guess I shouldn't really split them into just 2 groups of 3, because so we have 1 assembler doing, let's see what I actually have my assemblers doing here. Oh, I miscalculated my assemblers. It is 4 points, that'd be 5. Oh no, it's 6. Okay. So we got 5 assemblers doing circuit boards. And then 1 doing an AI limiter. So let me do a row of 5 assemblers. One, 2, 3, 4, 5. Actually worked out perfectly. It's right in the middle. And then we'll just do the 1 assembler all by its lonesome. This is going to be for AI limiters. So this gets fed with copper sheets and quick wire. Okay, I ended up just changing it to all 6 of them in a row. I know they're not all making the same thing, but having the one just separated off by itself was really weird to me. So we'll just do the one on the very end here. We'll have as AI limiters. I'll turn it white for now, just so I remember, and I'll make it do AI limiters. And then the rest of these are doing circuit boards. And these circuit boards are going to output a total of 30.5. So 30.5 divided by 5 is 6.1. So each one needs to put out 6.1. How easy is that? .1 circuit boards from each place. The AI limiters, how many AI limiters do I need to make? 3 per minute. So we'll downclock that bad boy. A manufacturer for the supercomputer, let's say that's this one. All right, so for the supercomputer manufacturer, we go right here, and this is going to put out a total of 1.5 supercomputers per minute. So downclock to 80%. The other one is going to be Caterium Computer. This is going to output a total of exactly 3 per minute. So also down to 80%. Then the other 3 are doing our high-speed connectors at a total of 9.5 per minute. 5 is going to be for our crafting, and 4.5 is going to be used for the supercomputers. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to overclock one of these so I can get 5 per minute. And that's for my crafting. And then the other 2 I will split between the 4.5. So it'll be 2.25 between each one. 2.25. And those will get routed back to do our supercomputer. All right, just before I move on to hooking everything else up, I just wanted to go over the last little bit of machine setup that you need to do. So your 9 refineries here, there's 10. So 9 of these refineries are going to be set to do plastic at a rate of 18.22 per minute. And then you're going to have 1 set to rubber so that you can have a nice even, that you could just do 2 rubbers and not overclock. You're going to have Either way, you need to output 36 rubber per minute. So I did 2 power shards in here at 80%. And this line should still take a total of 300 crude oil per minute. And then the Caterium is 11.27 per minute per machine. The clock speed of 93.8889%. They are a little weird, but it's just because I have them split evenly between all the machines. If you wanted to not do these weird numbers, just split it between like 1 or 2 machines. Okay, let's jump into splitters and mergers and everybody for, I guess we need to do the refineries and also the upper floor. So let's hop into that. I can take off the assembly manufacturers for now though. I mean, the truck station is already there as well. But so yeah, we're going to move into our belts and everything. So make sure you got everything for marks 1, 2, 3, and 4 belts. We're also going to be bringing in our pipes, so you get those ready as well. And then we'll go from there. All right, so before we move on, I guess we should probably worry about setting up the refineries. And instead of having like a bunch of floor holes and, you know, potentially run into a whole bunch of problems that way, we're just going to do one floor hole to bring the pipe up, and then we'll just do the normal manifold, like fluid manifold line that we've always done. So let's start off with actually here I'll do the floor hole. I'm gonna do the floor holes for the raw, although there is no raw input for these. This is literally just a line of crude oil coming down. So let's put in our splitters going all down here. Just like that. Grab Mark 1 pipes. They're not on the bar for some reason. I'm not really sure why, but I mean the mark or the ones that don't have the markers on them are there, but I actually prefer having those on here. Especially for someone who's not super familiar with how fluid, well, I mean, I'm more familiar with how fluids work now, but this definitely helps me, especially for any troubleshooting. So let's hook these up to all the machines. And then the one and only floor hole that I'm going to use, I'm going to put right here, right in the smack dab center middle of the foundation here. Set this to horizontal to vertical. Here we go. A nice clean pipeline feeding all the crude oil into these, all going all the way down. I'm just going to mark this one at the very end. I know this is my rubber. I'm going to mark this one in black, and then the rest are going to be blue. There we go, because they're all plastic. And then this can go be black for oil. There we go. I mean, coloring those wasn't a super crucial step, but it'll help me remember things going forward. So now, honestly, all we need to do is bring that black pipeline into that floor hole right there, and that's the oil all set up. We're just gonna grab pipe, bring it down here as far as we can. Here's line up with right here, right? So I'm gonna bring it to here, and then back to. Pop that right there for a second. Horizontal to vertical. Grab them like that. Wait, why is it not? Why not? I'm lined up with it. Oh, we have to go top down. Yeah, top down. There we go. All right. So that's the whole crude oil part of the build taken care of. And we can go on over to here. And this is where the input or the outputs are going to be. So this is where I'm going to put in floor holes for the outputs. And then, whoops, there we go. And then for the junctions, pipeline junctions, I'm going to put them out here in the middle of these. Foundations here. Give myself enough room to work with the solid outputs. I want to do the same thing where I keep everything up here as much as I can, especially with the fluids. Fluids I like to try and keep on a level field as often as I can. Says the guy who is literally sending it up probably like a good 70 to 100 feet. I don't know. It's a real good distance down to where the oil is. And the water too. There are no fluids in this build that are going to be requiring a Mark II pipe. I probably should have mentioned that in the beginning. So every pipe you see is always just going to be a Mark I. So there we go. That is all connected up now. And then we will do, since it has to go over here, I'll put a pipeline hole right here. and then I have this all connected up already. So we just got to connect this hole right here to this wall output. We're going to bring it down. And over. There we go. So I'll color this just so I know what it is. So that'll be all those ready to go. So just to finish off all our pipe work while we're thinking of it, let's go ahead and hook up all of our lines here. This is for water. This is going to be making our pure Caterium ingot. I believe this should be back far enough. Oops. I can still feed the rest of it with, I mean, I can do lifts, or you can just do like simple, you don't even need lifts, you can just do it on an angle. I like the lifts just because it's nice and clean. So same thing here, you're just going to be doing all Mark 1 pipes like I said earlier. There we go, pipes are all hooked up, and I wanted to bring the water in from the end here. I mean, especially since the water's right here, that way we don't have to take a bunch of space on this floor with pipes. I can now literally just grab from right here. Where do we got to go to? The center of this platform right here. So we're just going to turn it here. It comes out nice and straight. And I'm going to bring it to about right there. Horizontal to vertical, top down. There we go. Alrighty, that is officially our water hooked up. So all of our fluids are now taken care of because we have our incoming oil hooked up to all those refineries. We got our incoming water hooked up to all those refineries. We got our output of heavy oil residue here, which comes down all the way down this line, which feeds into these 3 refineries, turn them into petroleum coke, sorry. And they feed right into our nice little awesome sink right here. So that is fluids, check mark, and done. I don't have that on the to-do list, but it feels nice to be able to say that. So I'm just going to load up some floor holes here on the back side. I don't know how close I have to get it. Is it right there? That snap in? Okay. I don't know why I deleted that. That was unnecessary. So I'm just going to put all these floor holes in here. This is going to feed in the raw Caterium and turn it into Caterium ore. I'm just using Mark 4 lifts when we get to the top here. Doesn't really matter because you won't see this part. You guys have noticed my frame rate is starting to go down the more stuff we build, so I'm gonna have to unfortunately start to hide more things here and there when I can, but I do want to still leave some stuff open. So this is all just a solid output, and I'm gonna want to send these. Everything's gonna end up going over here because I did end up adding a little bit, like a little chunk on the back there for sending things between the floors. So what I'm gonna do is I'm going to put a bunch of mergers in till we get to, I'm going to say this one, and this merger is going to face forward like this. I think, unless I have enough room. Do I have enough room down? I probably have enough room. Okay, we'll just send it all down in one direction. Send it down the way of Harry Styles and, well, I don't, that's the only member of One Direction that I could name you off the top of my head. Oh, these are splitters. Sorry, my bad. Mergers. Everybody, Beyonce to the left. Sorry, no more music. No more music puns. Let's put in some mergers. All right, there we go. Merger line's done. And since we know it's only outputting 11, like call it 12 per minute, just nice Mark 1 conveyor belts. So we can go ahead and hook these up now. So we got 12, 24, 36, into 48. So this would be 60. Well, I mean, technically it would be 60 if it wasn't downclocked. But anyway, now we can switch to a Mark II. Right? Be 12, 24, 36, 48, 60. And then it is a Mark II conveyor belt all the way to the end. Until you get to this one, because we output, what do we output? It's like 130. It's 135.2. So it's when we reach this one that we need to go to a Mark III belt. Just barely. Oops. That's not it. Oh, well, that's because that's where I want to put the floor hole. Right there. I'll put the floor hole on wrong. There we go. Okay, so just while I wait for night to pass, I'm just going to go ahead and hook up, you can see I hooked up the power to the water extractors and the oil extractor back there as well. I'm just going to get these let these start to fill up. And then I'm also going to be able to figure out where to put my pumps in. So I think my first pumps, I'll just end up placing probably horizontally, because I don't know if there might be enough space here. Let me see if I can get a pump in here. Okay, we can get pumps in here. So yeah, let's go ahead and stick a pump in here. One there. And one there. There we go. We got those pumps hooked up to power. You should start, water's instantly up here. There's the oil starting to move as well. So I'll be able to see roughly what the head lift is on these. It looks like we're actually moving liquid all the way up. Like, oh, really? The head lift on these that big? Oh, I guess it is. These pipes are already full. Hey, the oil's not though. Okay, it's moving now. Interesting. Okay, so I'll put two more pumps here. All right, looks like to get from all the way down there to up here, I only had to use the 2 pumps. I thought I was going to have to stick pumps here for sure, which may have saved me there, but I didn't think the pumps down there were going to send them all the way up here. Interesting. Yeah, the liquid seems like it's moving no problem. Oh, there's the autosave. There we go. All right, they're starting to move. We're obviously going to need pumps over here. So figure out where they're going to need to go. I don't know where my head lift goes to. Assume. I'm going to say it's probably not that high. And I'm going to put one right here. All right, perfect. The sun's coming up and I had to make a quick little change where, yeah, I had to drop the 2 pumps. I had to drop them back down onto the horizontal part here. Doesn't really matter, I don't think, where you put them, because that'll just determine where your head lift starts from. And then I had to put 2 more, because that head lift only got me up to about here. So I had to put 2 more right here, which gives me the exact amount of head lift to get all the way up, and it is starting to fill up all of my lines, as you can see along here. So that's perfect. So that was just 1, 2, 3, 4 sets of pumps. Not bad, actually. 4 sets of pumps to go from down here to all the way up there. It's pretty good. So I realized that sending all this stuff downstairs, only I'd have to send it back up to this floor again, would seem kind of silly. So what I'm actually going to do
is I'm taking this part and I'm going to turn this merger so it's facing out. And then we're going to take all the things we had before, but I'm going to take these mergers and I'm going to turn them to face that singular merger. That way I don't have to go from floor to floor for no reason. There we go. So it's going to be all those combined down into this one and a Mark III belt coming out from there. That Mark III belt is going to feed into our quick wire or our Caterium machines, which are all set up down. So really this belt is actually going to be a nice easy hookup. It's just going to be take this belt and send it all the way down here. Let's do that. Let's just knock that out right now. All right, that is the Caterium line feeding all the way down to the Caterium constructors. Yeah, I probably could have set that up a little bit better, but that's fine. It's actually not that bad. Just a straight line across the bottom here. Doesn't block anything. Nice and easy. Man, who would have thought supercomputers and high-speed connectors would have been so much easier than everything else? So for the rubber and the plastic, these ones I actually am going to send downstairs. That probably wasn't proper English. I am going to send them downstairs just because they actually just immediately go up to the upper floors. They skip the constructor floor entirely. So in order to keep them kind of out of the way from down here, I was trying to figure out how to send it across, but it would just kind of be in the way of all my belts and everything for moving everything else around. So I'm just going to drop the solid items from here down below and I'll just send it across down on this floor because I got plenty of space to work with. So let's just go ahead and throw in some floor holes here really quick. And then the lifts, and then we'll go down below and we hook this all up. So this one right here is the rubber. This one's super easy. We can just hook this one up and we can send this down and across. Let's go all the way. The little spot I have for taking things up to the other floors is like this little block of 6 right here. So we're just going to run this across and that'll be our rubber. That's going to go all the way upstairs. And then for the plastic, I'm actually going to combine them together. And then I'll split them again when we go upstairs. But just to save room, essentially what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring all the lifts down. And then I'm going to put mergers in front of them all and I merge them all into one. And we'll send the rubber and plastic line together over to this little area over here. There we go. Plastic merger line to one belt. So we got our belt of plastic, our belt of rubber. We're going to send those all the way up to the assembler floor. You could have done this much. No, I could have done this. Sorry. Anyone could have done this much smarter. Put the mergers down first. You could have clipped the lifts into the mergers. But I did it the unsmart way. So I just connect belts to them all. But these don't need to be Mark IV. I'm just moving everything along here as fast as possible. And we're going to bring them over to here and we're going to send them all the way upstairs. All right, so I've got them lifted all the way up to the logistics floor underneath the assemblers, manufacturers here. The rubber I left up at the ceiling because it is just the one line of rubber and it is going into, where does it go to? It gets sent to the Caterium computer one. So that would be this one right here. So we can send that line over along the ceiling and keep it out of the way of everyone, and that'll be no problem. The plastic line, however, is the one that needs to get split into two. I'm not going to worry about balancing it or anything. It'll kind of be a quote-unquote manifold line where as long as one gets backed up, it'll be fine. So we're going to send it into a splitter right here. And then some of it is going to be hooked up to the supercomputers, and then the rest is going to be hooked up to the circuit board. So the rest goes over to these 5, right? Yeah, because the last one on the end is the AI limiter. So let's say this one's the rubber, which actually makes it easy because I can wow, English is hard. Then I can just run it around the back behind all these ones without it being in the way. Where is the belt? Where is the conveyor? Somewhere. So I'm going to set up the plastic line for the assemblers here. I'm just going to set up splitters going down along here. Make sure they're in line with the hole above them. That should be all those. And then I can do lifts into the splitters. Okay, sorry, I got myself a little confused there trying to hook these belts up. So I brought the plastic up from down below. It goes into a splitter. One I'm going to keep about halfway up so I can leave room for other stuff. And the other line goes all the way down here to feed those assemblers for the circuit board. And then I also hooked up the other lines, one for the copper sheets, which is the other part of the circuit boards, as well as part of the AI limiters. And then the other AI limiters is this line that'll be for quick wire, which I've labeled right here. I just haven't brought the quick wire up yet. So from here, I'm going to go ahead and hook up all the things for actually bringing these items over. So this one is by itself. This one kind of just come down on a belt, on a lift, sorry. And since everything's already full this way, I'm going to drop, actually no, that's fine to drop it that way. And then the mergers for this one, that's a splitter, need a merger. Mergers are going to go on this middle line here, lined up with these lifts, or these holes anyway, that are going to get lifts. There we go. So these are all circuit board. This line here. And then this is the AI limiters. We'll just send that on the, I mean, you could do a sushi, you could do a sushi belt here if you want. I try and avoid doing them when I can though. Except like, I guess if you're doing storage. There we go. AI limiters line and circuit board line. So those are going to, those just go across to these machines over here. And then, so that'll be pretty straightforward. I mean, we can kind of skip forward through that part. And then these parts I'm still trying to figure out. So I want to make sure I brainstorm it with you guys, just in case you're following and you're like, man, this is a little confusing. It's not too bad. Getting things around has been pretty straightforward so far. The only things I need to move around now are the, what do we need to bring up here? So that's the, that just gets brought over. Computers get brought over from this one, actually. So for this one, I'm just going to do this. Ready? Wait, no, this one, I want the output, sorry. That would have been funny. But it's going to go like this. Attached to this one here. There we go. Now that the computer's done. AI limiters, we're just bringing from over there. High-speed connectors comes from over there. And plastic comes from over here. Okay, so the other one that, the other hookup here is plastic. Let me figure out what height this is going to be at first. Oh no, I don't want ceiling mount. I need just the normal stackable pole. Okay, sorry to skip ahead, but I was starting to lose my marbles again. I now have everything all hooked up. It did get a little bit complicated, sort of. Not really, I just had to remember to actually where to send everything properly. So I can kind of go through it from the bottom up if you guys need me to. We've got all of our Caterium being made, and then it gets sent up over to the quickwire constructors over there. See, I am losing my marbles. We've got our copper stuff all being made right here. It gets sent all the way back upstairs. So everything gets sent to the constructors. Constructors get sent up to this item elevator, which, yes, this was a little bit of a mess, but it actually worked out really cleanly. I got nice clean angles and everything. So I have, here is my cables coming up along there. They're going over to the manufacturers over there. We've got two lines of quick wire coming up. They get split off into doing the AI limiters and
the rest of the computer stuff. And we've got our copper sheets that come up along here. They go over there to the AI limiters and the circuit boards. And then you've got plastic and rubber. All comes up around here. Plastic gets split into two. Some of the plastic goes over to the manufacturer. The rest of it goes to the assemblers. So some of this is a manifold line. It's not technically balanced perfectly. So it'll have to back itself up properly, but it should technically, as far as I can tell with my math skills. I do obviously have awesome sinks here for now, just because I haven't ran everything down to the basement yet. I'm gonna have to add in probably another little section back here where I'll just run it all down to the basement, or I'll run it down from this side. I don't know. We'll figure it out. But we got to run the two, this line of the, this line of high-speed connectors needs to go downstairs, and this line of the supercomputers also needs to go downstairs. And I'm just going to feed it into the one truck station and send it in one truck. It's such a small amount we're making and such a short distance that one truck will be plenty. That brings this build pretty much to its close. Aside from, so we're gonna, I mean, technically I did the truck station. But now we can do the little power montage here at the end where we're actually hooking up all our machines, and then I'll see you guys when it's done to turn this bad boy on. We do have all of our fluids are here ready to go. All of our water is backed up and good to go. All of our oil is backed up and good to go. I think these are actually, yeah, these are pretty much full. They are indeed. Excellent. So we got our full reserves on full. Everybody's ready to go. Pumps are standing by. We are ready to turn this thing on. So let's jump into a little power montage and I'll see you guys when we're done. Big moment has arrived. It's a new day and it's time to power this bad boy on. So through the night I ended up just running my power line over to one power line that's running over to the factory there. So I've got it connected to where it's just these two miners to start. Oh, I guess I should probably go hook up the power to that. Wait, I already have the oil extractor going. Yeah, never mind. So I just gotta hook these up, and then that'll allow just some of the line to start filling up. And then we will go ahead and connect this power pole to this power nub right there. And that will connect the rest of this factory on. So let's go grab our power lines here. That should be for the miners. So we got our Caterium doing 270.4 sad face per minute. I really wish only 0.4. We were so close to having a perfectly full Mark III belt. There we go. There's our copper doing 247 parts per minute. That's going to start filling up these smelters here. Well, it's going to start filling up the line anyway. I wish they would fill up when they were powered off, but they don't. Okay, and because I used the fluid storages, I should be okay when I turn all these on, that they won't have too many issues getting backed up. But I'm pretty sure all the math's correctly. I did just follow my guide from satisfactorycalculator.com. If you're not using that yet, you definitely should be. Okay, so the copper is now backed up. Deuterium probably needs a minute. It's got a long way to go. It's got to go all the way down here to right here. And I don't think the refineries fill up. No, they do not. But we got our water pipes are full, ready to go. All our pipes are full, ready to go. Looks like we can power on this factory. All right, here we go. 3, 2, 1. That's everybody. I mean, it's going to be a while before everyone actually does stuff, but... So those are starting to smelt. I see copper coming out already. Let's go ahead and head on over here. I'll have to go down below to see plastic and rubber coming out. There we go. We got plastic and rubber flowing already. What's happening here? Oh, I think this is just a visual glitch. I think that these are actually moving. It just doesn't look like it. Yep. Okay. There we go. I was trying to figure out why I wasn't getting enough Caterium, and I realized I had a 13th refinery in this lineup this whole time. So I'm sure if you guys were watching, like, hey man, pretty sure you got an extra refinery there. And that's why I was messed up. So going on the line here, I was like, why is it like stopping the amount of Caterium I get towards the end here? And it turned out too many refineries. But they are... I went and grabbed a bunch of raw Caterium ore. Now they are backing up proper. Okay. Now we're good to go. Everything else is working really well too. Except for, I mean, we're just waiting on copper because I'm not smelting copper fast enough. Same thing with over here. We weren't sending Caterium over fast enough, but... Okay, with minimal troubleshooting, I seem to have gotten everything up and running in 100% efficiency. The only thing I had to change was these had to be down clocked a little bit more to 91.9 per minute output because I was burning through more heavy oil residue than I thought I had. But yeah, now it's all balanced out. Everything is all green and or blue if it's overclocked. I mean, aside from the truck station because it's not running yet. But even the manufacturers up here, everything seems to be running at 100%. Got our high-speed connectors coming out. We got our supercomputer over here. Let's take a quick little look. See one of these coming out the back. Haven't actually seen one of these yet. It's coming. They take a while. It is working at 100% efficiency though, so that's good. I think the troubleshooting wasn't too hard. It was mainly just waiting for things to back up that weren't backed up yet. And I mean, obviously this factory's got a lot of lines going everywhere, so had a few different manifold systems that work off each other. Like when you plan a manifold system off another manifold system, it can end up,
you know, causing some real long time before you actually get your stuff to come out. Oh no, I missed the supercomputer. Can I still see it down here? No, it's probably in the sink now. All right, let's watch closely. There we go. Show me a supercomputer. The first time seeing them. And they're automated. How about that? There it is. I'm gonna take this one. Gimme. We got a supercomputer. How about that? I wonder how many awesome sync points I actually have. Oh my god. Yeah, haven't checked that in a real long time. All right. Perhaps we should go shopping sometime soon. I mean, I guess there is the occasional time where I'm sinking 2.5 million points per minute. I'm assuming that's probably when the supercomputer goes in. That's a lot of points. That's way more than I thought I was going to have. But either way, thank you guys again so much for hanging out with me for another episode. Appreciate you being here. Thank you guys all for all the support. Getting this channel pretty much at 500 subscribers. We're getting pretty close, at least at the time of recording this. Other than that, I will see you guys in the next episode. Have a good one. Sorry, I had actually goofed, so I have one last thing to put in here. All the plastic refineries actually had to be overclocked to 20.5 per minute. I had miscounted my refineries again. If you don't want to do that, just put in an extra refinery and then you can downclock them all. But I miscounted when I was laying these all out. So that should all be the proper amount of plastic now. I noticed that we ran out of plastic up there at the very top. And then that is also that also means that these can be clocked back to do 118 per minute petroleum coke. And those are balanced out now as well. See, there we go. No problems. I mean, aside from now we're just waiting for the oil line to back up here again, but that should be okay. Shouldn't cause too many issues. Okay, thank you again for watching. I will see you guys in the next episode.